Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here, and I'm going to do a collective reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, astrology, or tarot, my information is down below. This reading is general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not feel right for you, then it probably isn't. So I do ask when I'm shuffling for messages to be brought in from your guides to the reading. So if I'm showing you a card, but it's making you think of something else that's significant, or if you see like an animal or a number that personally means something to you, that is significant as well. What else? What else? I was meditating this morning and I got a visual, so I'll share it because it's kind of what I'm asking for when I meditate after I'm done the part where I'm dealing with me. And so the visual that I saw was going into the bathroom and using the last of the toilet paper. Yeah, they're weird visuals, but using the last of the toilet paper and then thinking like, I'll just deal with it later, right? And walking away or dealing with it now. So when it played out dealing with it now, it's kind of like general energies are, it's one of those things where you go to grab the extra roll of toilet paper off of, I'm just going to go by my bathroom, and this did not actually happen. I did run out of toilet paper afterwards, which was funny, but go to grab a roll of toilet paper from the back of the toilet. It's not there. And so then I have to go to the other bathroom where I keep the extra rolls of toilet paper and grab a roll of toilet paper from there. And they weren't there. They were in the closet. This is the visual now. But and then say you go to the closet and there is no extra toilet paper. And you really actually need to go out and buy toilet paper, which you discover because when you run out, you went to replace it, even though it's important that there was a consideration of, I'll just deal with it later. And then imagine if you didn't do that, you happened to discover that there was no toilet paper after you took a shit, right? So, and that was pretty explicit too. So it's kind of like, replace the toilet paper. It might sound like a simple thing, but it might require a few additional steps. So make sure that you do them and don't procrastinate. Because you might have to take a shit later. And I couldn't tell from my vision or not if there was some tissues handy or whatever. But you might be wiping your ass with tissues. So there you go. Don't procrastinate. Even if something seems minor, best to do it. And I'm usually a big proponent of do things when they feel right. So the fact that I'm saying don't procrastinate, I feel like that's significant. I'm going to do a Celtic cross magician. We're creating magic. We have all of the tools available to us. That's creating your own reality, manifesting. The magician is a powerful card. And you may be in or around this reading. Be mindful of that. What I'm doing with these collective readings, though, is I'm exploring where I feel like everyone is individually and also where everyone around them is also there, but how we're like dealing with one another in that similar state. So yeah, magic we're creating. We might be creating some bullshit, but we're creating. So the challenge card. Yes. Challenge card is the sun. That's positivity, being positive, being optimistic. The sun is also like shedding light on something, maybe the sun is out and you can't hide anything, and you're not liking what you see, right? And you're forgetting that you are a magician, but the sun is shining, and when light is shed, then we can create. We can either stay in a position of reacting, or we can create outwards, right? Like if we're always reacting to things, like we're not putting stuff out there. And it's like, just receive things as they happen. Like the whole thing with the toilet paper. Maybe you don't want to replace it because you're like, God, just another fucking thing, Well, just wait. It's going to be another fucking thing later. When you get poop on your finger, you know what I mean? Or you're walking around with poop on your ass looking for an extra roll of toilet paper. I hate to beat a metaphor, but seriously, that's actually lines up exactly, because if we're just reacting to things, then we might not handle even the simplest of things while they are easy to handle, and so then we just are responding to bigger problems later on, instead of being proactive and taking care of them when they're small. But this feels even bigger than that, like because we want the space to be able to create moving forward. So what is in the subconscious? The Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is, cups are water, emotional fulfillment. We're leaving things behind to venture into the mountains. Maybe we're heading into new territory without a promise of what is going to be there when we get there. Maybe we're staying with what's comfortable and familiar, even though we know that there's better, but the better requires taking a risk. I don't know if you can hear it, but my cats are going ape shit right now. If you can hear it, I'm sorry, but I have the sound so that it kind of dilutes some of that. But yeah, there's risk involved, and this is in the subconscious, so we might not even be aware of it. We could be blowing small things up into big things because we don't want to deal with the really big thing that's festering underneath of what is it that we really want. Are we clinging to stuff? Do we feel comfortable in anger? Like, are we just hanging out there because anger and annoyance and all of that is a familiar emotion, a familiar place to be? Things are always like this. Nothing ever works out for me. Everything is fucked up. I give up, that kind of stuff. But in the recent past, we have death. Death is an ending. It's a transformation, rebirth. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I like it in this deck because it's like they're at a party, they're kind of hanging out. Yeah, death, rebirth. Oh, well, so it's not really working out. The light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel is being reborn. But we've got to, maybe we have let go of some stuff. Maybe we're still in this process of mourning something big, but we still have to leave it behind, like maybe there has been an ending, but we haven't we haven't left it behind yet. And here's what I love about the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So in the Eight of Cups, we venture forward for the promise of something better. We have these 8 cups. They're just fine. They're good enough. However, we know that there's more, but we can't see the more. We have to go forward in faith and trust, knowing that they're going, that something more is out there for us. But we're not able to see it first. And then the Nine of Cups is the wish fulfilled card. And in the wish fulfilled card, he gets all 8 of the other cups back plus the 9th cup, right? So it might not be the exact same scenario, but it's just saying the fulfillment is even more. You really don't lose when you trust the promise that there is more, without being able to see. It's about having faith and trust in God and spirit. But the death card, so there's been an ending, but maybe we're still clinging to that ending. We're still clinging to like what was and the way that things were. But if we can really trust the process, yeah, what we know, Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a homecoming card, a milestone card. It can be a new home. The wands are fire. That's creativity, passion. It can be a wedding, a soulmate card, moving to a new home. I always think of it as coming home within ourselves. And, there's an 1111 on here. So it's like, it's like a spiritual homecoming card. And that's what's known. This is in the subconscious. The Eight of Cups, like we know, we might even think that we've let go, but we really haven't quite yet. We are heading into the unknown, and we have to trust. So that is subconscious. But what is conscious, what we know of, what we are intending towards, is that we want to feel that Four of Wands, that being at home, feeling creative, feeling playful. Wands are heart energy, feeling heart, feeling joy. Future, Two of Swords. Two of Swords is she's blindfolded. She can't see everything. So moving forward, we can't see what the future holds. The swords are air energy. That's mentality. That's our mind. Twos are always choices. This is a choice that we are going back and forth in our mind, or wanting to make a decision. And with the blindfold on, we can't see all the facts. Like there's an element of trust in that one too, but don't get stuck battling it out in your head. In this one, she has angels behind her. It's like, what feels right? What feels like, what is your intuition telling you moving forward? Is the mind is going to kind of beat you up, and no matter what, a lot of times our mind is going to tell us that we should have made the other choice. But what is a choice that you can move forward with feeling good about? And this might not be that you have like a major choice ahead of you, although you could, but this could just mean on a daily basis. Like, don't overthink it. That's what the Two of Swords is. Don't overthink it. All right. What is our advice? Seven of Wands. I'm losing my voice. The Seven of Wands is standing up for yourself. Wands, again, fire energy. That's heart. He is not attacking anyone, but he is protecting his space. This is a reminder that we are sovereign. All of the wands that are trying to mess with him are below him. So we're in a position of power and authority, but we have to demonstrate that to others. He has the shield and the wand, but he's not launching out to attack. But if someone comes in to violate his space, that he's going to protect it. He's going to stand up for himself. That's the advice that we're getting. So stand up for yourself. You know what is right, and what feels good. How others view you. So this is kind of how we're looking at each other. The Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is like battle weary, I've been through all of these battles. I've still got another one in me. I can keep going, but I'm tired. I'm not to the 10 yet. The 10 of Wands is completion. I'm not to the 10 yet. I can keep going, but I'm fucking over it, man. I'm over it. And that's kind of how we're looking at each other. Okay. So then I'm going to go back to the Sun card being the challenge. It's a challenge to be optimistic. We may be creating scenarios with other people that are really combative, because we are coming to them with an assumption of combat or annoyance, or like we've been reacting to all of this bullshit around us, which is ultimately bullshit that we created in the first place, always. But instead of like creating outwards and interacting with other people as though we're going to have a good outcome, we might be just expecting and anticipating bullshit. But yeah, so the Sun card, remember to be optimistic, and that's going to be challenging. That is a-okay. Like sometimes life is challenging, but if you expect others to be negative, it's like if you get into that habitual everything sucks mode, then everything that moves towards you is probably going to suck, as long as you're aware. Hopes and fears, 7 of Cups. I don't even know what I'm looking at. What are my options? We're both hopeful of and afraid of looking at all of our choices. Again, cups are emotional fulfillment. Not knowing what to do. I really think this has a lot to do with not knowing what to do. And with the 7 of Wands coming out for advice, it's like make sure that you stand up for yourself. Don't I'm a big proponent for go with the flow, but I'm also a proponent of like not getting trampled, what's in your heart. Stand up for that. A lot of times with the 7 of Cups, it's too soon to choose. We can be kind of disoriented, uncertain. There's like the implication of a fog around choices. We can't see clearly what all of our options are. So we need to wait for them to emerge a little bit more. So this could be like jumping to conclusions. If we're in fear, it sucks. Jumping to conclusions when we're hopeful actually is not that good either. We want to wait for things to kind of emerge and come out and follow our heart towards what is right. So in our hope and our fear, with those two things battling out, we might choose too quickly, or just jump at something because somebody else tells us to, or the pressure is on. That we're not supposed to be like, we don't want people putting pressure on us right now. If somebody's putting pressure on you right now, then they might have an ulterior motive. Outcome. 10 of Cups. Aw. We all just want to feel good. We all want to be surrounded by loving people. This is the happy family card. We want to feel happy, loved with people that we feel emotionally connected to. That is the outcome. That is the ultimate goal. Dude. My cat. Anyway, that is the goal. That's where we're headed. That is going to be the outcome, but we're going to get there by being upbeat. I kind of love this reading because the sun card did come out. There's the sun. Reminding us to be optimistic, but we're also it's important to be discerning, right? So we're not being like toxic positive, or we're not ignoring reality. But remember that our thoughts are creating what we see moving forward. Don't ignore what we are seeing, though. Deal with it before it becomes like a bigger issue. Oh, we're gonna do one of these affirmators. That's funny. Options is right here. And there's a kitty. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. We're going to do one more. Clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self, I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar, and the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. So, yeah, this is sitting and listening for intuition rather than overthinking, just mind chatter. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day on Earth. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Peace. Namaste.